methods for a little synthetic killing. It's all harmless fun.
What's going on, everybody? Bryan here with the Nerd Theory channel yet again with a video game review, an off-the-cuff review, where basically I'm just telling you what I think about the game. There's no script in front of me, and I'm just kind of going on a tangent. So here we go. The game that we're going to talk about today, and when I say we, I mean me, is Yomawari, Night Alone for the PlayStation Vita, which is a survival horror game made by the people at Nippon Ichi Software for the PlayStation Vita. Now, first off, you're probably looking at the video and right now and going like, this is a survival horror game, and my answer to you is yes, it is. Don't let the cuteness factor of the main character distract you. I know it's a cute little chibi, person going around, but this has so many jump scares and is so creepy, it's not even funny. So basically the premise is this. Little girl at the beginning of the game, you're walking your dog and an accident happens. I'm not going to tell you what the accident is, but you're going to feel so guilty that it happens that you might actually go back and try to do something different to see if it changes. I'm going to tell you that it probably won't, part of the script. But having said that, in all the distress that you're in, you're running through this very dark neighborhood of the town that you live in. You find your sister. Sister goes out to find, well, basically what happens at the beginning of the game, which I'm not going to tell you. So essentially, sister doesn't come back for a very, very long time, so you go out to find your sister. What happens next is very atmospheric game. It takes place at night. There's a lot of street lamps, very visual. There's like, you find little parks. You're obviously in Japan. You're kind of walking through the streets, and these monsters just start appearing in the street, chasing you. Now, you're a little girl. There's no weapons in this game, okay? So basically, you run, you tiptoe, or you hide. Now, it's a kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. And what I mean by that is, most of the time, you're going to feel compelled to run away from the creature, whatever creature that is that's chasing you. And doing so, you can do that, but you can quickly run out of energy, especially if you're scared. And what that will do is it will cause you not being able to run, so you're going to have to walk normally. Now, doing this, it can get you away from the creatures, but it could also attract other creatures because of the noise that you're making. Another thing you can do is hide in the bushes, for example. And what happens is that the screen, your character will cover her eyes, right? And the screen will go black. But there's little hints of red telling you where the creatures are at. So the creatures might go away, they might not. This is a game where you're not going to get through it perfectly. You're probably going to die. You're probably going to die a lot, but fortunately though, there are save points along the way that will allow you to not have to backtrack or do something over again as much. Speaking of which, there's also little stations where you donate a coin, turns into a fast travel location. So the game makes it a little easy that way. There are so many jump scares in this game. I was very surprised by it. It's actually, in my personal opinion, one of the best games on the PlayStation Vita. Very scary. You ever seen Stephen King's It, right? Where the clown's in the sewer? It kind of plays on those fears that you have as a child. Claws could come out of a manhole cover. Something could reach out of the bushes, this, that, and the other. And having that consistently on your mind, trying to traverse through this neighborhood, in which some roads are blocked, by the way, and they'll open up later as you go on. But you have to find your way home, and there's puzzles that you can do. One of the gripes I would have about this is that there's no real storyline. You don't know why these monsters exist. There's nothing explaining what's going on in the story at all. But if you don't really care about that, that's not going to really bother you as much as it probably did me. I would like to know where these monsters came from, but this isn't about the monsters as much as it is about this little girl trying to find her family, or her sister at least. Having said that, very scary game. Not a long game. You could probably get done with it in about 5 hours, probably closer to 10, honestly, depending how you want to play it. There are some collectibles to seek out. There's puzzles to solve. They can provide new mysteries for you to ponder, but once again, there's no real story, so that's all you can do is kind of just wonder about some of these little side missions. When you have the collectibles, they don't really release anything about the story either. So, but it probably makes it creepier. So you could just, put in your own little story in between. Once again, don't mistake this game for being cute. I don't care what the main character looks like. It's the graphics are well done, and there are so many nightmare scenes that I can't even, like literally, like the first 2 minutes, there was like this it was cheap, okay, I'm gonna admit it was a cheap jump scare, but it was effective. And I think the ambiance, think about Limbo, for example, where everything was really silent, but it was the ambiance and, the silent that actually made it creepy. And it's kind of the same way with this game, I think. I was hooked through it, couldn't put it down for the time I've played on it, but what it really comes down to is that it's atmospherically creepy. Creepy arms, you got the straight lamps, like I said, and I jumped a lot. So hopefully you will give this game a shot. I give it a 4 out of 5, and the name of that game, once again, is Yomawari Night Alone for the PlayStation Vita. And I want to say thanks to the publisher, for providing a review copy for Nerd Theory. So, having said that, if you like the video, please subscribe to us. There's a little icon in the upper left-hand corner that should appear. Also, please share the video with everybody. We really would appreciate it. And for more off-the-cuff reviews, whether it's movies, games, television, or even anime, I cannot even talk today. Just subscribe to Nerd Theory for all that stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. Later. What's going on, everybody? Bryan here with the Nerd Theory channel and MPG podcast. If you like what you saw, please support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/nerdtheory.